All right, Meg, can I please have a one-word horror movie theme prompt?
Cult.
Cult. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Well, does it kind of seem like you've been in a cult for the past month?
Feels like I joined a cult when we started dating because I've watched a lot of horror movies. I've been indoctrinated into the horror.
The horror cult?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think am I the cult leader then? Is that,
I think
I don't
so.
understand.
I mean that in a good way too.
Okay,
Like not
thank you for clarifying.
it's not a bad cult that I'm a part of.
Hold on one second. Hey, welcome to the Spooky Overtalking Podcast with your host, Ken. And joining me this week is my lovely wife, Meg.
Ooh, hello,
Hi.
listeners.
So listen, I know it's November now and everyone's eating all of their Halloween candy.
Mm-hmm.
You've wrapped up and put away all of your Halloween decorations and you're ready to move on to something a little more
Christmassy?
turkey?
Oh yeah, maybe that.
Maybe, depending where you live. But look, we still got more horror stuff to talk about on this podcast.
Believe it or not, we did 31 nights of horror that we need to talk about.
Yeah. So we've done this past few years, but Meg and I watched a horror movie or something horror content related every single night in October.
Which is somehow different from every other night of the year, I guess. Because sometimes we don't watch horror.
Because it was consecutive.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to talk about everything that we watched in October, excluding the Music Box of Horrors movies that we already talked about on the podcast 2 weeks ago. So go back and check that out if you're curious about those. So we'll be skipping October 19th, I think, horror movies. But then we watched something the following night anyway. So you're really only saving like 1 day's worth of horror movies. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot, yeah.
So we're gonna dive right in. But something I figured we could talk about first is kind of how we choose the movies that we watch.
Yeah, our ongoing list of horror movies that we keep adding to throughout the year that we very slowly chip away at because there's way more content in our list than we actually have time for. So we do our best to pick out movies for the 31 nights, but yeah, there's a lot on there. We get a lot of inspiration from all over and recommendations that we keep adding to this list, and based upon what we're feeling each night, that's how we pick it. We don't really come up with a calendar plan ahead of time. We just do we have enough time to watch a movie? Let's do it from there. You actually created some really cool ways to whittle it down for us.
I know that other people who do this kind of challenge, sometimes they have like a prompt for each night of the month. Mm-hmm. So it's like, horror movie, like a haunted house day, mm-hmm. or like a clown day or something.
Right.
Like, and you pick horror movies based on those things, but we don't like to pigeonhole ourselves. We kind of like to go with what we're feeling. So we have a literal like letterbox list, and we, I have an AI way of, I made a little iOS shortcut where, I can like enter how much time we have for the day, to watch a horror movie and kind of what we're in the mood for. And then if I feed in all of the movies on our letterbox list into ChatGPT along with a prompt and see what it spits out. We used that for like the first couple of nights, and I think it didn't work the best.
Well, you also added for it to recommend Hellraiser 3 to us, and it did that for no matter what we were listening to no matter what we asked for, it always recommended Hellraiser, and that was pretty funny.
I removed that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but otherwise, yeah, we just have a running list of things on Letterboxd that sometimes we just leave stuff on there every year. Like Hell House LLC is one thing we'll be talking about that I'm sure we've talked about in the past. Just things that we know that we're likely to watch, or it can just be a repeat watch option whenever.
We have some comfort watches on there for sure that we leave up, but a lot of it is new horror that came out this year or stuff old stuff that we've never heard of that we're finally ready to dive into. So it's actually pretty exciting to jump in after adding stuff to that all year long and see and remind ourselves what we actually have on there.
Yeah, exactly. And we always have things left over. So like now we have a bunch of stuff that we might watch next year, or
30 more days of horror for November.
We were considering actually maybe watching a couple more in November just to, because we're like, oh, we ran out of time to watch a couple of these things.
There was definitely a few that I really wanted to watch that we didn't have enough time for.
Yeah.
So I might request to watch them.
That's fine. We don't have to wait until October to watch some of this stuff. But anyway, I'm hoping we've learned our lesson from the Music Box of Horrors episode, where when we talk about a lot of movies consecutively, these can run very long. So in order for us to have some portion of our night back after this episode, we're going to try to go through these movies relatively quickly. So without further ado, let's start out with what we watched on October 1st. Meg, do you know what we watched?
Well, we watched Creep Tape. Episode.
Watch the Creep Tape episode. So for those who don't know, this is going to take a little bit of explanation, but there are two movies called the Creep and Creep 2. They're Mark Duplass.
He's a creep.
He's a creep. And I have to spoil the first one
at least. Don't
explain what creep tapes are. How else can I explain what creep tapes are?
See, he spoiled it for me, and now he wants to spoil it for all
Skip ahead literally
listeners.
1 minute, okay? If you don't want the original Creep spoiled. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Mark Duplass is a serial killer who records all of his kills on tapes, different tapes, and he keeps them all. And
Those
so
are his trophies.
Yeah, they're his trophies. So that's what Creep and Creep 2 are. And the Creep tapes are just short individual kills.
They're just the short videos of these interactions with people, and it's really weird and definitely creepy, but good.
Yeah.
It feels very real.
It's a TV show. I don't know if we said that. It's on Shudder. There's 6 episodes in the first season, and I believe this month in November they're coming out with season 2. We only got halfway through the first season, so we are going to need to finish that at some point. They're relatively short. I'm sure we'll get to them, but yeah, we watched every Wednesday we watch Survivor with some friends. So every Wednesday throughout October will just be something shorter. So that's why we started out with just an episode of a TV show. And you'll be seeing, we watch these creep tapes over the next 3 Wednesdays, so we can skip ahead on those coming up.
Saving you some time already.
There we go.
That's great.
We're going to move right on.
Very efficient.
So then we decided that Thursdays, at least the first 3 Thursdays, were going to be Fear Street Thursdays.
Yeah, we were trying to pick out some franchise to watch, and we have kind of run through a lot of them.
Or they're too long to fit in to October.
Or we weren't interested, so we came up with Fear Street.
Yeah, which I have seen before. So this is October 2nd. We watched Fear Street 1994, which is the first in the Fear Street trilogy. We did not watch Fear Street Prom Queen as part of this because we'd already watched it earlier in the year, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So, but for those who don't know, a couple of years ago, I want to say like 2022, or maybe it was before the pandemic. I don't remember. Anyway, Netflix released an adaptation of R.L. Stine's Fear Street books in a trilogy of movies that they released every Friday for 3 Fridays in a row. 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they are all interconnected, but it's 3 different stories about this town. And I really liked them at the time, and I kept talking to Meg about them. And after watching Fear Street Prom Queen, I was like, wow, this sucks. You really need to watch the original trilogy.
Yeah, it was a hard sell after that. But no, we watched the first in the trilogy, and I really liked it. It was even better than I thought it was going to be. I had very low expectations after Prom Queen. So
yeah, so each one takes place in a different year, and this one is 1994. It's kind of got Scream vibes, maybe a little bit. It's very like 90s mall different serial killers, with like a kind of a witch carryover story between each of these movies.
Yeah, based on the small town that it takes place at, there's a curse on the town, and you don't really get too much of the lore, which is where the other movies come into play, and that's really fun.
Yeah, so it's we really liked this first one, and that's it. All right, we're gonna move on. So then we took a trip actually with my parents on October 3rd. So these next few are going to be, I was trying to look for like horror comedies or something that we could watch with my parents.
Yeah, it was nothing too gory, nothing that was too traumatizing, really. So
Yeah.
these are all kind of light and fluffy, mostly.
So on October 3rd, we watched Once Bitten, which is Jim Carrey's very first movie. It came out in 1985, and it's very bad.
It's very bad. It's very 80s. It's like the writing's bad. The acting is not great. I mean, besides him, he's very cute in it. It's just very weird. And it's about vampires, right? I think, yeah.
Here's the synopsis. Vampire. Mark wants to lose his virginity, but his girlfriend wants to wait. Unfortunately for both of them, a 400-year-old vampire countess needs to turn a virgin into a vampire before Halloween in order to preserve her own youthful appearance. When she finds Mark, she turns his life upside down. The synopsis on Amazon Prime is much funnier than this. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was... anyway. This movie is just really poorly acted. I mean, Jim Carrey's great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is awful. Like, it's a B movie, maybe like a C movie almost.
Yeah, I think B is being generous.
Yeah.
We knew pretty much immediately when we started watching this that it was not a good movie.
My mom turned to me and she's like, "Is this one of the movies you would have watched in Shit-tember?" That
is that what she said?
Something to that effect of like where it has like 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, "No, I'm sure not." And I looked it up while we continued watching, and I saw that it had like less than 10%, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Lovely.
And I didn't say anything until they were all like, "Wow, this is really bad."
Yeah, we were really drawn to it because of Jim Carrey, and there's maybe a reason that no one really knows about this movie. It's because it's not good. So,
at the same time, I remember the next day continuing to think about it and it being kind of funny. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe with a different headspace or knowing that it was going to be a bad movie, it might have been more enjoyable. I don't know.
Maybe.
But we were expecting it to be really good, and it wasn't. So I think that kind of threw it off a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. The next one we watched, still with my parents, was The Uninvited. This is from 1944. This was a, I believe, British black and white kind of haunted house movie about a brother and sister.
Yeah, they move into an old seaside house that's been abandoned for many years.
An adult brother and sister who decide to buy a house together. It's really weird.
It's very strange. I don't understand why they both decided to move together and buy a house, whatever. Anyway, they discovered that the house is haunted by the ghost of the mother of their neighbor's granddaughter, with whom the brother has fallen in love.
Yep.
For some reason.
Yep,
that's
right.
just kind of slid in there randomly that he has fallen for this very young woman.
Yeah. There is like a cool twist in it at a certain point that I kind of saw coming, but others didn't. So I think it's interesting. It's very horror light. Like it's yeah. I mean, there's a ghost, but
it's like a thriller. More so on the thriller, but
maybe even like mystery. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it for what it was, knowing it was going to be an older film that was less like gory and creepy and whatever. But it had good vibes. I liked it.
Yeah, not bad.
It was decent.
All right, next up, October 5th, we watched Shaun of the Dead from 2004. Probably don't need to say a whole lot about this because I'm sure a lot of people have seen this movie, but held up for the most part, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get to finish it because Nora needed attention.
Yes, that's right. I did not. I only made it halfway through, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the last maybe 20 minutes of this movie really are just kind of not that good. It's for me personally. But the rest of it, like especially the early parts, I think are hilarious.
Yeah.
And
very quotable.
yeah. That's all. We don't need to say more about Shaun of the Dead.
Everyone
That's
knows
a good one. The following night, we're still on vacation, but we didn't watch this one with my parents. We watched The Wolf of Snow Hollow from 2020. And this is about a small town in the winter. It might even be like a skiing town. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a small mountain town.
Yeah.
That bodies are being discovered after each full moon.
Like brutally mutilated and like clawed, and it looks like eaten maybe.
Yeah. And there's the main sheriff or main cop who is the son of the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly about him trying to figure out what's going on, and everyone all the cops are like it's a werewolf or a wolf man, and he's like, no, it's not. And
we even see like a werewolf basically killing people.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of a
what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on? We can't say much more about it. I really liked this one. I think the acting choices by the main guy were interesting. I know that Meg, I don't think you totally agree with that, but
so he directed it and starred in it.
The main guy wrote, directed, and starred in this movie.
So I'm really sorry to Jim Cummings, who is the actor, director, writer. The acting was not the best for me. I couldn't tell if he was trying to be funny or serious or what. It was only a little bit ways through that I'm like, oh, I think Ken told me it was supposed to be funny, and I didn't really get it. But I thought the story was really good. Mm-hmm. And a very interesting way to approach, a werewolf movie.
Yeah.
I liked it, and the kills were yucky.
I mean, it was definitely gross. Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend this one. If people have not seen The Wolf of Snow Hollow, go check it out. All right, so we're back home at this point. It's October 7th, and we are watching Dead Silence from 2007. This is James Wan's follow-up to Saw. And if you know that and you watch Dead Silence, which we had both seen before, but I don't think I've seen it through that lens, you're like, oh my God, yeah, this is obviously just by the same people who did Saw. Down to the music, down to the way it looked.
It was like copy and pasted almost. The shots were very similar, music, tone was very similar.
It's about a ventriloquist lady who had a bunch of puppets, and they kind of are haunting this town, and maybe this dead ventriloquist is also haunting this town. There's a weird twist at the end that just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and then the movie ends. And it's not a good movie.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
It's not the worst one ever either.
I still enjoyed it. The Billy the Puppet from Saw actually makes a cameo in this.
So good,
Meg clocked that.
Yeah.
Which totally fits. I mean, it's all about like ventriloquist dummies and puppets, and why not for Billy the Puppet to be in there? Which is weird because the main puppet in Dead Silence is also named Billy.
Yeah, it's like we could only think of one name for a puppet, and it's Billy.
I don't think he was. Maybe was he even named in Saw? I don't know if he was like the original Saw.
Guess we'll have to rewatch all of this and figure out when he was named.
Again, Meg and I have rewatched the entire Saw franchise at least twice.
If not more. Yeah.
All right, we're back to another Wednesday. We watch a creep tape, October 8th. So moving on. Then we're on to Fear Street Thursdays, so we can move pretty quickly through this. But this one's Fear Street. 1978. This one is heavily inspired by like Friday the 13th, set at a summer camp in the 70s.
Classic slasher film.
It's got the redhead girl from Stranger Things.
Sadie Sink?
Yeah. Sadie something. She's the main girl in this one, but there is still like a tying narrative to the first movie. So it's just really interesting how these play out. Like they're definitely not separate. They're meant to be watched one after the other.
Yeah, it's good to get more of the backstory and the lore, and you're seeing different different versions of the killers and stuff like that. It's good, but I liked this one less than the first one.
Okay. Yeah, the first one's definitely the strongest.
For sure.
I still like this one a lot, though.
Yeah, you like a summer camp vibe.
The summer camp vibe gets me, for sure. Yeah. And then on the 10th, we watched Night of the Creeps from 1986. We were in the mood for a like schlocky 80s horror movie.
Yeah. The tag on this is, the good news is your date is here. The bad news is he's dead.
That's what Tom what's his name?
Tom Atkins?
Yeah, Tom Atkins says. Tom Atkins is in this movie in prime form. He is incredible.
Did they just let him do whatever he does best, and he just
delivers the best
his
lines.
Lines are incredible.
Every time he picks up the phone in this movie, he says, "Thrill me."
Thrill me. Yes, he is he's a cop. So he's just, a cop in a college town, which has to be very not fun for him. But
people are getting taken over by slug aliens, I think, is basically the synopsis of this movie. And a shy college kid is kind of caught up in it all, and he finds love along the way. It's funny. It's a fun movie. I would really recommend this one. This was one of my favorites from the month, actually. I think.
Yeah, I liked this one too. It was real good.
Yeah, that's good. All right, we're gonna move on. On the 11th, we watched the brand new movie starring Dakota Fanning called Vicious from 2025.
Give it something you hate. Give it something you need. Give it something you love.
Yeah, so Dakota Fanning, a random stranger knocks on her door. She lives alone in a large house, and the stranger forces a wooden box upon her, and the instructions for the box are, you have to put in something you hate, something you love, and what was it?
Something you need.
Something you need. To what end? I don't know. I watched this movie, and I'm not sure what the purpose of this is, other than just like grief horror again. I didn't like this movie at all. I thought the idea of the box was interesting, but it didn't pay off to anything, and it never really ended. Like, it just, I don't know. So it was, Dakota Fanning acted very well in it.
Yeah, I mean, she was basically by herself the entire time.
Yeah.
She did a great job, but I couldn't honestly tell you what the hell was really going on.
Movie? Yeah. I don't know.
I really wanted to like this movie, but it was just not good. Like, they couldn't figure out how to end it, so it was just whatever. And that was a bummer to watch.
Yeah. I was hoping it'd be like The Box, or I don't know, any of these like other weird kind of like mystery box horror movies, but no, it wasn't that. It was just like hell in a box, but not Hellraiser or fun. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, don't recommend Vicious. I would say skip it if you're looking for new horror movies. The following night, we were still in the mood for brand new horror, so we watched The Conjuring: Last Rites from this year, 2025, and this was better. Mm-hmm. This is the final Conjuring movie, at least for like phase 1 or whatever they're calling this in the Conjuring universe, which from what I hear, they are making more stuff after this. It just might not feature Ed and Lorraine Warren, but this was good. It felt like the other ones.
Yeah.
You got more of their family in it, like the daughter and her new boyfriend are featured a lot more in it, and they're at a new family who's being haunted by something, and
yeah. It has exactly what you think it's going to have. It has Ed and Lorraine doing their thing. It's got a little bit of Annabelle. She makes a little appearance in there.
Of course.
It's got some good jump scares. It's got some creepy moments. It was effective. I liked it.
It was.
It's exactly what I wanted for that night too. So I was very happy with it mostly.
But I will say we watched Annabelle Comes Home for the first time earlier this year. I preferred that movie over this.
Yeah, I don't know. The Annabelle movies are more enjoyable for me than Conjuring movies, I guess. I like that little branch of it. And The Nun. I really liked The Nun. The Nun was so scary. She's scary.
Did you mean stupid?
No, scary.
Oh.
She is scary now.
She is scary in the
She's
Conjuring
scary
movie.
look. Yeah.
The Nun movies, I think, are none of my business because I don't want to watch it. All right.
Well, I think that character is just very spooky. Anyway.
I agree. I agree with that. All right. Man, we're about almost halfway through. We're doing pretty good.
Okay.
On the October 13th, Meg was too scared by the date, so she decided not to watch a horror movie with me. So I decided to put on Shudder's another brand new movie, VHS Halloween, which is an anthology movie of, they've kind of abandoned the VHS aspect of it all a few movies ago. But yeah, it's just an anthology movie of this one specifically, all found footage things set around Halloween. And most of the segments I really, really liked. Paco Plaza he directed one of the segments that might have been my favorite. He directed Wreck that we saw at the Music Box of Horrors last year that Meg really enjoyed.
Great film.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely recommend VHS Halloween. It's hard to really talk about it because there's so many different segments, so I'm not going to dive too far into it. But yeah, I just love that the people who make VHS come out with a new one of these every single October. It's great. It's like something to look forward to. It's always usually like larger horror directors or up and coming horror directors get segments in these VHS films, and it's really interesting to see them do a found footage thing that maybe they don't do found footage all the time, and do a short. And it's I don't know, I just always enjoyed watching them. So, and that's all I got to say about that. All right. Okay, now finally ChatGPT listened to me, and we watched on October 14th Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth, which was in preparation for watching Hellraiser Bloodlines, which is the fourth Hellraiser at the Music Box of Horrors, which we've already talked about. Hellraiser 3 is not a very good. I didn't enjoy it.
No.
As much as 4. It's fine. It's pretty standard.
There are lots of chains, of tearing people apart.
Someone gets the box, they open it. It's
Yeah.
not quite what they expected.
It's
Cenobites attack.
It's a very forgettable movie.
I just like that a lot of it takes place in a nightclub, and the box is open in the nightclub, and then a bunch of random people from the nightclub, like the DJ, get turned into Cenobites. And the DJ has like CDs like slotted into his head.
I gotta say, like the maybe last half hour to 20 minutes of the movie was my favorite part. Was to
just seeing that stuff.
Yeah, just to see the creative ways the Cenobites emerge. So I liked the ending the best. The whole rest of it, I don't really care about. It was pretty boring. Obviously very gross and gruesome and yucky, but it was a
Hellraiser movie.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about that. Yeah. There's nothing else to say about it.
All right. October 15th is a Wednesday, which meant we watched another creep tape. So we're moving on to October 16th, which was
another Fear Street
Thursday. Fear Street 1666 666, the sign of the witch or devil or something.
A spooky.
This is the final Fear Street movie. It wraps up everything leading up to this point. Weirdly enough, this is set, in 1666. So like Salem witch trial vibes. It includes all of the actors from the first two movies effectively recast into playing these other parts in 1666, which And doing a like a Scottish accent kind of.
Yeah, I didn't love that. I did not
Meg
love
really
that.
did not like that part.
I mean, I kind of get why it was that way, but it also just didn't make sense. And the whole time I was like, this doesn't make sense. And Ken was like, just watch the movie.
And I said, like, you get over it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got used to it eventually, right?
Yes, it was fine. I like seeing the origin of stuff. So this was the origin of the curse and what happened with the witch and why the town is the way it is and why everything's been happening. So that's been interesting. And at the end of it, they also jump forward to 1994 or whatever it was.
And then you get more 1994, which is the best one.
Which is why I liked it better than the second one.
Yeah.
So it was good. I liked, on a whole, the trilogy was good. I would definitely watch it again. I think it hit all of the different not all of the different, but a lot of different genres of horror that we like. So it was fun to see that all included. Story and whatever had a little bit of holes, but you get over it, and it was fun. It was enjoyable, and it was really well done. And I liked it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you liked it after all my hyping it up.
Yeah.
I was afraid I had hyped it up too much, but I definitely think the trilogy holds up. Like,
for sure.
It's really good. If you're looking for something really good to watch on Netflix, the 3 Fear Street movies, not Prom Queen, are very, very good and worth your time.
Definitely recommend.
Highly recommend it. Yeah. Okay. Then I stayed downtown the night before the Music Box of Horrors, and I stayed in a hotel room, and I was alone and just wanted to watch something stupid that I figured Meg wouldn't want to watch. Mm-hmm. So I put on Ghoulies 2. Yes, last week you heard us talk about Ghoulies, and I figured no one's actually going to want to watch Ghoulies 2 on this podcast. And I really want to watch Ghoulies Go to College, which is the third one. So I'm like, okay, I got to watch Ghoulies 2. Spoiler alert, I have not yet watched Ghoulies Go to College. So stick around for what you've been watching in the future, where hopefully I'll get to it at some point. But Ghoulies 2 is more Ghoulies mayhem. Definitely way more Ghoulies focused than the first one was.
That's good, considering it's called the Ghoulies.
Yeah, and the first one was more like wizard duels.
Yeah. There's a lot of cult stuff.
Cult wizard
and then
duels.
The Ghoulies
people.
Just came for a little bit.
Yeah.
Little ghoulie fun.
There was another little person. Every time I talk about this, I don't know what the correct terminology is. I think that's correct, but in this one, I don't know, it's just a random through line that I noticed, but the ending of this one, I'm just going to spoil it because it doesn't make any sense. Features them summoning a giant ghoulie to eat all of the little ghoulies, but then they're like, oh no, we have a giant ghoulie now. What do we do? So the giant ghoulie apparently is attracted to eating ghoulies, so they dress up a Molotov cocktail in a gorilla outfit, little gorilla outfit. The big ghoulie eats it and somehow doesn't put out the fire, but also the Molotov cocktail somehow makes him explode, like, violently.
I'm sure all the other ghoulies inside of him were just filled with explosive material, so he was just loading up on all that. Lots of gas.
There was a toilet ghoulie in this one, though.
See?
And he survived at the end, so I'm sure he'll be going to college soon.
Does he leave the toilet to go to college?
I don't know.
Straight from the toilet to college.
The literal ending of the movie is them zooming in on the outhouse that he ate someone's butt out in. So
ate someone's butt out. Good God, what kind of movie is this?
I don't know. All right, then we're at the Music Box of Horrors for a bunch of movies, so I am skipping ahead. Yep. All right. After coming back from the Music Box of Horrors, we still watched, or we finished actually, a Stephen King miniseries that we had started to watch a previous weekend. We never finished. We finally finished Salem's Lot, the 1979 Tobe Hooper one, because it's been remade a couple times. What did you think of Salem's Lot, Meg? I'm curious.
It was fine. I think it was pretty slow at points, so my attention kind of was in and out. And
we also broke it up over like 8 viewings.
Yes.
So
yes, and definitely the ending, I was distracted, so I don't really remember the ending very much.
The ending was weird.
Yeah.
It just kept going. It was like them on the run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wasn't paying close enough attention. I'm not really sure what was happening, but I think it was creepy and interesting.
The vampires were scary.
The vampire was scary, yeah. But, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing that we watched, but I was enjoying watching it.
Yeah. I know I enjoyed it more than you did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've actually seen this all the way through before. But I try to watch a older Stephen King thing every year, so I just wanted to watch this. It was fine. It's definitely not my favorite Stephen King miniseries. Yeah. That's probably Rose Red. But yeah, it was fine. All right, we're gonna move on. October 20th, we watched another brand new. This is a Shudder original horror movie called Night of the Reaper. And the synopsis for Night of the Reaper is, I'm just going to read it. Well, no, just the tagline. Nothing is as it seems. Cool. They don't even have a synopsis on Letterboxd. That's so weird. It's like a babysitter killer movie. But it's turned on its head, and that's all I can say. I don't want to spoil this movie. I think if you're interested in like babysitter killer movies like Halloween, but you want like a fresh take on it, this is the movie. And I think it's worthwhile. I think there's some weird, not plot holes, but like weird choices at the very end of the movie.
I think there's a small plot hole as well. I didn't love how they wrapped things up in this movie, but everything else leading up to like the very end wrap up, I was like in for it. I liked it. Yeah. I for once didn't see the twist coming or whatever. Yeah. So I did like it. I thought it was well acted and very interesting, and I would recommend it to watch for sure.
Yeah, I would recommend this one as well. It's not my favorite thing we watched this month, but I do think it's worth a watch at some point.
Yeah, it was an interesting take on the classic babysitter murder movie.
Yes.
I liked it.
Absolutely. All right. October 21st, we watched Caveat from 2020. This is by the same director who did Oddity, which we've talked about on the show previously and
very much
been watching.
Recommend Oddity.
Oddity's great. This is his previous film that I had seen before. Meg had not. It features a toy rabbit that bangs a little drum. And
he's so cute.
He's very cute. He actually shows up in Oddity as like one of the things in the Oddity shop, which is kind of cute. It's also about this man who has suffered a memory loss and is chained inside of a house of his own accord to watch after this girl. And there's other things going on in this house, and his memory loss definitely plays a big part in what's going on. I think this is an interesting movie. I think it's interesting how it unfolds. I like this movie, just not as much as Oddity.
Mm-hmm. There was definitely a couple points in this movie that very much had me looking at Ken and shaking my head like, I don't like what's about to happen. I don't like this.
There's very creepy parts, especially towards the end. Oh my God.
Yeah, there are some very effective creepy moments that I still think about, which is a mark of a good horror movie to me.
I have like a very clear image in my mind of.
I think it's the same image I'm thinking of.
Sure.
Is very creepy. I did not like watching it, which it scared me very good. Anxiety
did you
was
like
high.
Watching it?
I did.
Okay.
I did. It was again another like kind of slow start where you're just kind of figuring things out, and a lot of it's pretty quiet and just looking around, discovering what's going on. And when things actually started to pick up, it was like, oh yeah, I need a palate cleanser after this. It was very spooky to me. So liked it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely spooky, scary.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the narrative, the narrative way it unfolds is just definitely not as straightforward. I know that's by design, but it's just it was hard. It was a little hard for me to get behind.
Mm-hmm.
But I still highly recommend it. I think this is a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Another really good concept, and if you kind of just gloss over those things, it's fine.
Yeah, but I really am looking forward to where this director goes, especially after Oddity. And the director's name is Damien McCarthy. So there you go.
Really, really like everything so far by him.
Okay, we're back at a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, October 22nd. We decided we'd had enough of Creep Tapes for a little bit, so
it gets a little repetitive.
Yeah, I just wanted something different. We'll finish Creep Tapes eventually, but that's as far as we got. We only got 3 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
But I had seen someone on Instagram recommend a short from a collection of horror shorts that's on Shudder. Apparently every year they release a collection from the Etheria Film Festival, which I've never heard of before. But they collect them all into like a movie-length compilation, and they put it out on Shudder. And so we watched this year's, or at least the first 2 shorts. We eventually finished it later. But the first short was called Speak with the Dead. It's about I think they're sisters. They're putting on like a seance, like a performative seance. And people in the audience are skeptical of it, but are also maybe not who they seem. And that's all I'll say about it. It's short. You can probably find it. I don't know if you can find it outside of this, but if you have Shudder, check it out. I think it was cool.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. And then the second one we watched was A Green Affair.
I did not like this one.
Now, do you want to describe what happened in A Green Affair for our listeners, Meg?
A woman has a relationship with a fern. Or she has relations with a fern.
An intimate relationship with a fern, yeah.
I did not like it.
Yeah. She cheats on her husband with a fern, but it turns out her husband may not have been faithful as well, and the fern might try to stick up for her.
Yeah, the fern was definitely into her. It came on to her.
It was into her.
It was in.
All right, moving on. After watching that, Meg didn't want to watch another horror movie the next night, so I watched.
I was yucked out.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No. Actually, the next 2 nights, I watched horror movies on my own. So October 23rd, I watched Anguish, which is from 1987. It stars, what's her name? It's Zelda Rubinstein. She's the little high-pitched woman from Poltergeist. And I don't want to say too much about this movie because there's a really cool thing that happens that reveals more in this movie. But you start watching something and then more happens, and that's all I'll say. But I can talk about the first part of the movie at least. She's a like a controlling mother to Michael Lerner, who people would know from a lot of different things, but he's a well-known actor, and he is going around collecting people's eyeballs, and she is kind of directing him to do this via kind of like telepathy. It's really weird, but there's more to this movie than that, and that's all I'll say. Check out Anguish. I would recommend Anguish. I really, really liked it. It was very original. I've not seen anything like that before.
Nice.
Yeah, I know I've told you about it, so you know what I'm talking about. But
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I'll say. Some of these I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, All right, the next night, October 24th, we watched Joe Bob's The Last Drive-In on Shudder. It's like late night horror host Joe Bob Briggs. He presents a movie, or actually usually double feature movies, once every month on Shudder, and I only watched the first one this time. I only ever stay up to watch the first one because I can't. It starts at 8 p.m. and I can't stay up till freaking 2 a.m. watching horror movies. So.
Yeah, we tired people now.
Yeah. But he was presenting the also relatively brand new movie, Clown in a Cornfield, which I had not seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was fine. It was, I like clearly, I think aimed more towards a younger audience, not like children, but like a teens audience. It's based on a young adult book series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what was cool is that he had the writer-director on to interview them. And like he would take breaks in the movie and interview the writer-director. And he also had the author of the books that it was based on as well, like together.
That's really cool.
It was really cool. He also had Gwar on, just because this was like the Halloween special. So Gwar was on and they sang their like intro song that they play at the beginning of all these Drobop things, and that was kind of fun. I don't really like Gwar, but it was just interesting to have something new.
You liked it. You're pretty amped up when you were telling me about it. So.
I liked this. I don't like Gwar in general. I thought it was fun. It was a good time. That's all I gotta say about that. Clown Cornfield is fine. Okay. I hadn't had enough Stephen King, so
you never do, Kenneth.
Watched another brand new horror movie, The Long Walk, 2025, Stephen King. Tell us about it, Meg.
A group of young men get picked to take on the Long Walk. It is a competition in which the last one walking gets a wish. And money. But a wish. I kind of liked that. You get a wish, like as a genie.
Yeah.
So.
And I think you're leaving out a large part where everyone else, if they drop below
I don't know if that's a spoiler.
That's like the main part. I don't think so. You
learned that
like
we
early
didn't.
in the
Well,
movie.
we didn't know that going in, but we were going in blind. But okay.
All right, I guess skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want the spoiler. I'm going to tell them though. Like,
okay.
If
it's a new movie.
If you drop below a certain mile per hour walking speed.
Yes, that's the stipulation. You have to stay at a 3 mile an hour speed of walking, and you get 3 warnings if you dip or stop or whatever. But
after the third warning, they punch your ticket, which means they shoot you violently until you die.
Yeah, this movie is violent. It has some. They don't shy away from getting shot. Yeah, it is extremely gory and intense, way more intense than I thought it was going to be. But that being said, amazing acting.
Yeah, no, incredible. This is honestly one of the best things I've seen this year.
This was my favorite thing we watched, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for the month of October?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I liked a lot of stuff. This and another one, but this was just like, I was blown away by the acting. I love when you get so wrapped up in the conversations the characters are having, and like immediately, obviously you like these people, and then horrible things are happening around them, and geez, yeah, the main 2 actors were absolutely phenomenal.
Incredible acting. I don't know if this is my favorite thing, but this is definitely like the highest quality thing we watched by far. Yeah, this is definitely probably one of the best things we've watched this year, aside from like Sinners, maybe.
Yeah, Sinners was excellent.
But yeah, this was really cool. And I was telling Meg, I saw that they did a promotional screening for this movie where they had a bunch of treadmills in a movie theater, and I assume like early reviewers got to walk on these treadmills, and if they dipped below 3 miles an hour, they were removed from the theater.
How
they couldn't finish the movie.
Fun is that?
That's so awesome.
So incredible. Yeah, I really liked this movie. I highly recommend it, but it is violent. It is gory. It is intense. There are young men who get very brutally dead.
Unalived.
It's intense, and definitely needed a palate cleanser after this too, but very, very great film.
Yeah, no, excellent.
Loved
movie.
it.
Yeah. All right, next up, October 26th, we watched The Mortuary Collection, also on Shudder. I have seen this before. This is another anthology movie. It's from 2019. It's the main, what is his name? Mortuary guy? Mortician. Sorry, it's Clancy Brown. People would know from other things. But yeah, there's a couple different segments in this.
Yeah, so he's a mortician who is talking to a possible new hire, and he's telling her all the different stories that have come into
how people have died.
Yeah. So each segment is a different way that someone has died, and it was interesting.
Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot. And then there's a bit of a twist, and you get to hear another story from one of them, and it's really good. I think it's good. I think it's one of the better original anthologies I've seen, with like a proper wraparound.
Yeah, I'm not usually a huge fan of anthologies.
I know.
I just don't like it. I don't know why, but this I really liked because everything tied together, and the whole, like, I don't know, it kind of had the vibe of like, Are You Afraid of the Dark, where you're just telling different scary stories. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that part of it.
What was also cool was that each of these stories had like some overlap because they're all dead people who died in this town. So like there's a doctor who just happens to be like a couple different people's doctors in different stories just because he's the town doctor, and they just all know him. And
yeah,
I like that. I don't know. But yeah, also I think the big thing is the wraparound. Like, it's the mortuary collection. It's about this mortician at this mortuary telling these tales, and he's also part of this other story as well. And I think it's, just a lot better than, like, I'm not saying it's better than VHS, but like it's a more cohesive thing than VHSs, which are literally just completely unrelated shorts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the overarching story is what got me. I liked, the last little bit of it.
Yeah.
Turned me to really liking it more than I thought I would. Also, gory.
Yeah.
A little gruesome.
I think I'm starting to see. There's another thing that we'll talk about, but I'm starting to see that a lot of the movies we watched this October are like things that I wanted you to watch that I thought were good previously, which is interesting. I don't know. I guess I hadn't realized I was doing that, but it is a lot of like, you got to watch this. Like, I know these are good. You're gonna like these kind of things.
Like throughout the year, I'll dip out on a lot of movies that you watch, and then you'll end it and be like, oh, you really would have liked this, and then we add it back to the list.
Yeah, I think it's just now, like, enough time has passed from when I had watched a lot of these things where I'm like, okay, I can rewatch these now, and share them with you. Yeah. All right. October 27th, we rewatched Hell House LLC. I'm sure we talked about this in previous years.
I know we have. Yeah, it's a great movie. Please watch it. It is
still holds up every year. We watch it.
Still scary.
There's a scary ass clown in it. It gets us every time.
It continues to creep me out, and very much
footage.
Like it.
Check it out. It's streaming on more places than Shudder. Like, you can find this. So yeah, highly recommend it. It's perfect for October. But don't wait until next October to watch it. No.
Watch it and then message me so we can talk about it. It's so good.
Yeah. Hell House LLC from 2015. Okay. October 28th, we watched... we're getting close to Halloween. And so now we're starting to think like, okay, we have to watch Halloween-related things. So that's why we watched Hell House LLC. We're like, okay, got to make sure we get this in. And now we're getting to the part of our list where there's things like I know are specifically Halloween related that we try to save towards that time.
Yeah, any movie that'll take place on Halloween night or specifically has, Halloween involved, we try to save it to the last week or as close to Halloween as possible.
But then we always end up being like, oh, well, we want to rewatch Hell House LC, or like there's like other good things that we want to watch, and we never get to a lot of these things.
We always watched WNUF Halloween special,
Ghost Watch.
And those ones we cut out this year because we had so much content.
We had done those too many times. Yeah. So we're finally like, okay, let's at least knock out one or two of these that we just haven't gotten to in forever.
Yeah, and one of those that we got to was called Boys in the Trees
from
2016. Yeah. It is a story about how on Halloween 1997, two estranged teen skaters embark on a surreal journey through their memories, dreams, and fears.
Which gives you no information.
No information. We had absolutely no idea what this movie was going to be about. And we kept waiting for Boys in Trees.
Eventually we got some Boys in Trees.
We got some Boys in Trees.
There's Boys in Trees. There's people talking about Boys in Trees from a symbolic standpoint.
Yeah, so this movie was not horror.
It was
horror adjacent.
It was, it wasn't scary, first of all.
It took place on Halloween.
Yeah.
It was a story about two kids on Halloween night.
There's some supernatural elements.
But gotta say, really made me sad.
Yeah.
It bummed me out.
It's a bummer movie for sure.
It made me feel feelings that were not fear. And I didn't like.
I think what I said at the end of it was like, it's more of a coming of age
Definitely a coming of age. Yeah.
Horror movie.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I liked the movie overall, but for our, horror movie night, I was bummed that it wasn't more horror, and I wish we picked something else. But I liked the movie. It was good.
I'm glad we did it, just because I don't know if we ever would have.
Any other time, we probably would not have picked this.
We wouldn't turn this on because it takes place on Halloween night. We're never going to turn that on another time.
Yeah, it just feels wrong to watch on any other night.
But it also didn't really fit quite right with 31
the
Nights
vibe.
of Horror.
Yeah.
But
it was good.
This is a high quality Australian movie that had weird overlap with. Well, I don't want to say that because it's a bit of a spoiler, but if you're curious, check out my Letterboxd review. But yeah, worth a watch if you can find it. That's all I'll say.
If you want to feel emotions.
Yeah. Okay, October 29th is a Wednesday, and we watched a TV show, a brand new TV show.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We checked out the first episode of It, Welcome to Derry, which is streaming now on HBO Max, or just Max.
So I used to have a huge fear of clowns. Huge fear of clowns, thanks to Are You Afraid of the Dark? Shout out to Zebo, the clown. But I faced my fears, I think, last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
You watched the new It movies.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not, like, this is still scary, but I'm not so scared of it anymore. And now It and all of the branching out movies have been, and TV shows, have been my new favorite thing. So I really like Welcome to Derry. I've been very excited to watch it. First episode, awesome. Gory, horrible,
scary.
Great, scary, amazing storytelling,
unexpected,
great acting from all the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, left our jaws dropped at the end of the first app.
Yeah, I will just say you will not know what's coming at the end of this first episode. I won't say more, but like, man, I just did not expect this to go there, and it's incredible. Yeah,
and I at that point wished that the next episode was out because I really wanted to see where things were going to go, and I am enjoying the ride so far. Yeah, it's been great.
We've watched 2 episodes at this point. We won't really talk more about it, but like it's still good, and we're enjoying it, and I'm sure we're going to stick with it.
It's just also just a obviously well-made HBO show.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I guess we haven't really talked about what it is, but it's
oh yeah.
It's a
what is it?
So for those who've seen it takes place in a town called Derry, and there's this clown that's more than a clown, and he terrorizes children and feeds off their fear. But he comes out every 26 years. And so in it, they talk about a bunch of previous times that he's terrorized this town. And Welcome to Derry is exploring those previous times. So this is taking place 26 years before the first It movie, which already took place in the 70s. So this is in 1956 or something. And each season, if they get more seasons, is going to take place in the prior 26 years and then the prior 26 years from that.
Based upon the books, interludes, right?
Yeah. There's interludes where in the book, one of the characters is researching these previous times that it has reared its head.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it takes place. It's just a new setting, or same setting, but in the 50s. They use the exact same town that they filmed the It movies in, and this TV show is directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed the It films.
So good.
And the guy who plays Pennywise is going to make an appearance at some point in this series.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård, yeah.
So good.
We're hyped about it.
I want more people to watch it because I want to make sure that there's more seasons of this so that they can actually delve into the past hauntings of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I like it. Please go watch it if you want to get scared.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're almost at the end, folks. October 30th, we watched... Oh, almost at the end. We watched
good.
End of the Line from 2007, which... Well, let me see what the synopsis is because I'm not going to do a good job of explaining this.
Yeah, this was an interesting one.
Oh, this is long. Oh, this is too long to read.
So basically, this takes place mostly in like the underground, on a train, on the subway, and there's some cult that is saying that it is the end of times, it's the apocalypse, and the cult is activated by their leader to send people to heaven by murdering them.
Yeah, and that's the only way that they're going to be saved.
Yeah, they're saving all of the non-followers. So all of these people are getting hunted by the cult members.
Yeah.
And trying to stay alive.
And you learn more about what they think is going to happen as the movie goes. We're not really giving too much away. And it just kind of gets progressively worse and worse. And you find out more and more as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
The practical effects in this film really surprised me.
Yeah.
The kills are like violent and good, and they're practical for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the story's interesting. Like, I actually really like the story. I want to look up more about what it meant to, because the ending is interesting. You caught something that I didn't, that tied into something earlier in the movie that I didn't expect either. I think there's a lot to like about End of the Line.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite things that we watched.
Okay.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, and the more time that I think about it, the more I like it.
There's definitely some acting deficiencies in this movie, which I remember at the end maybe being like, well, this isn't necessarily the best thing, but yeah, the more I've sat with it, the more I feel like I need to rewatch it at some point.
Yeah, the story overall was the thing that I kept coming back to. I'm like, this is really interesting, and at least not like anything I've seen before when it comes to cult members and that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I liked it.
Definitely, there was a lot of scary moments. I remember literally shouting out.
You did shout out
a lot in this movie.
I think that's a common thing that
it's a compliment. I
that
think
you often shout out at movies, and I don't get scared by the thing in the movie, but I get scared by you shouting out. So you'll be like, "Oh my god," and then I'll jump, and it's like, oh, it's good.
It's okay. You can admit that you're scared by the movie.
I feel numb to some of these movies. Like some of the things that are happening, I'm like, seen it. But this was good. I liked End of the Line.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it if you can find it. Watch it.
Yeah, it was a good one. I've been excited to watch that all month, so I'm glad we got to.
Yeah, not specifically Halloween related, but it was one that we're like, okay, watch it.
Yeah, I really, really was pushing for it.
Yeah. One that we didn't get to was a movie called Howl. It just wasn't rated very well in Letterboxd, so we opted to watch this instead. And
yeah, when we get down to the end of it, we have to be super choosy, and we did base it on some Letterboxd ratings. So, sorry.
All right, but now we're at Halloween night, and we picked some things not based on Letterboxd ratings. No. We
just picked it because of the name, I think.
Yeah, we were burnt out on some of the less traditional Halloween movies that we've watched in the past, and we're like, well, let's do a double feature. And I threw out the option of either Halloween 1 and 2 or Halloween 4 and 5.
You really gave me some options there.
Well, I would open to anything else.
No, I know.
But that was all I could come up with on short notice of like, I'm not feeling anything else, and let's just do something classic.
We've seen 1 and 2 so many times at this point that it's just not as alluring to watch as 4 and 5.
Yeah, we were more intrigued by 4 and 5. I've seen it a couple of times. I don't think
I've ever seen 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I might have seen clips from it because I knew like the characters, but I didn't know the full story. So,
and there are two movies that out of the franchise that are like actual direct sequels. There's a bit of a time jump in 5, but it does pick up and explain more of what happened in 4.
But it's also not part of the like main timeline, right?
Well, it is. It's part of just its own.
It's a different timeline, right? Okay.
Quick.
For Halloween enthusiasts out there,
lesson here. There's multiple timelines in the Halloween franchise just because Laurie Strode is alive or dead in different ones, so they had to like restart stuff. Just for brevity's sake, this one, the movies in this timeline are 1, 2, 3 is its own thing, so not that. 4, 5, and 6 are part of this, and in these, Laurie Strode, who is the main character in 1 and 2, is dead, but her daughter is the main character in 4 and 5, and that's who we follow. And yeah, she's played by the same actor in both movies. Her
did a great job.
Like foster step whatever sister is in both movies, and so there's some cool carryover between the two movies, and that's why I thought this might be a good one to do as a double feature. But we should have just done 1 and 2 again.
It wasn't that bad.
4 was good.
4 was good.
5
had some
bad.
Yeah, it was messy.
It's not the worst Halloween movie by far, but
no, but they really just were like, it's the 5th one. Let's just, slap it together.
I don't know what happened, man. It's a different mask. The mask's fucking awful.
The
writing is awful.
Writing's bad. The story's got a bunch of holes in it, and that plot's
oh my god! All right,
rough.
We have to quickly talk about this. So, 4 is good. 4 follows Laurie's daughter. Her name's Jamie, as she's trick or treating and dealing with her own things. And Michael Myers escapes, of course, and Dr. Loomis.
He was being transferred on Halloween night.
Of course, on
it was
Halloween,
raining.
yeah.
Only 2 people were in the ambulance with him, and he obviously took over, brutally murdered them, and got out. And
Dr. Loomis is activated and it roams into Haddonfield and
hobbles in and out of the police station.
But this time the police like actually believe him. And
yes, that's
they
rare.
Are going around trying to find him, and the locals get word that Michael's back in town and just start opening fire on anything that moves, which is a problem. Overall, like there's a lot to really like about 4. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. And then at the end of 4, Michael falls down like mine shaft or something, crawls and falls into a river. We see this in 5. He ends up in 5 being like pulled out of the water by just some hermit who lives by the river.
Yeah, this is a suburb of Illinois, like a well-established suburb, and there's just a man who lives in a shack in the side of a river, and
full time.
Yeah, he pulls Michael out and like sets him up in his shack.
Michael tries to choke him out, but then collapses.
And then it time jumps a year
A year later. And it's Halloween.
And
Michael
Michael
just wakes up, grabs his mask off the wall, and kills the hermit who's still there. So what? He's just been sleeping there for an entire year, and the hermit just kept him
Michael's
there?
just been sleeping in that man's bed for a year. I can't imagine the stuff that hermit did to Michael.
Oh my god, it makes no sense. That is the one
my
part.
Favorite part.
Like, you really expect us to believe that
immediately off to like you lost us both. I don't know if they were banking on no one ever watched them back to back or what, but
I remember that.
That's crazy.
I had fond memories of these two back to back just from AMC Fear Fest. Like they would put these on back to back when I was younger, and I remember watching these two consecutively and being like, oh cool, there's like a through line here, like it picks up in the next one. But this is before I had watched like any of Friday the 13th or anything that, I mean, had a somewhat better through line. Not saying that Friday the 13th is great, but
this just didn't make sense.
No, and the rest of the movie too, it's just like really obnoxious teens, maybe just being stupid.
Yeah.
There's, oh my god, there's some like bumbling cops that they put in like whistling horn sound effects anytime they spoke, just to like emphasize, hey, these guys aren't serious.
Yeah, these are the goofy cops that, you know, don't take their job seriously or something. I don't know.
It was so bizarre.
So
what a weird choice to put in those.
So weird.
It sounds like we're making this up, this is
this is real.
a Cousin Mike Club movie, but I don't know.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. There's more. We could talk about this for, I'm sure, an entire episode, but yeah, that was interesting. But at the end of it, Meg, what did you say?
I don't remember.
You needed to what? Watch Halloween 6 after this?
No, sir. I don't. You say I said that. I don't remember saying that.
We were talking about it this morning. I was like, you said you wanted to watch Halloween 6, and you said no. I said I needed to watch Halloween 6.
I don't want to do it, but to continue on, I feel like I have to at this point.
It set up. It did a lot of setting up of elements that I'm sure don't pay off in Halloween 6, but
I just think it's crazy that I have not seen all of these films.
Yeah.
But at this point, I've skipped around. We've watched, 1, 2, and 3 multiple times. I've seen other ones. Again, don't know what numbers, but to not seeing all of them in their full movies, not just clips from them. I think it's wrong that I haven't done it yet.
I think we should watch 6 just because we watched 4 and 5.
I'm not looking forward to it being like good films, but
since we just watched it, we should do that now. The other ones, I think we watched H2O last year.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
But like these are like more one-offs, and they're in a separate timeline too, where it's not like you need to watch it back to back with these.
Right.
So yeah, I do think, I know it's no longer October, but we should circle back to that.
I know.
But that's it. We made it through the month. So Meg, last year, every year we kind of notice a running theme that is completely unintentional with the movies that we watch. Mm-hmm. Last year it was all traumatic birth or like demon baby movies.
Oh yeah.
Which was funny because Meg was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we realized it after a few that were like, oh man, we're picking all of these movies and they all have this element somehow of like, traumatic birth, demon children.
The previous year I think it was
demon babies,
like evil nun movies.
Yeah, it was nuns. Can't remember what the one before that one was.
Yeah. And what did we notice about the movies this year?
This year, the theme that we did not know until it was too late was dead dog.
Yeah. In the last 2 movies alone, Halloween 4 and 5,
there's dead dogs.
Michael kills a dog.
In each movie. So according to my notes, because I had to go back, Ken knows that I do not watch movies that feature any sort of animal torture or death. I can't do it. I don't like it.
And to be fair, I didn't know that any of these movies feature dead dogs or dogs getting killed.
We usually check before we watch a movie, or the cue is if we see a dog and I'm like, oh, Ken, does there dog die in this movie? So we always look it up.
The answer is almost always yes in horror movies, unfortunately. And that was for sure true this month for what we watched. Meg's looking up on her phone.
10 movies we watched
Okay.
had dead dogs.
That's wild.
You either see them get murdered, or it happens off screen and you hear it, or it happens off screen and you see the dead animal later. So that was pretty bad.
That's wild, yeah. So what, do you have the 10 movies so just people know to maybe avoid just in case?
So in Shaun of the Dead, actually, you hear a dog yelp off screen, and then it's implied that it's a zombie.
Okay.
Night of the Creeps has a dead parasite-eaten zombie dog.
Yeah, that one's not awful.
Some of them aren't awful, but it's just like it's triggering.
The dog was dead. Yeah. For sure.
Fear Street 3, dead dog. Conjuring had a dog that was picked up and like thrown around by a spirit, but it was okay.
Okay.
So it was fine. I still didn't like that he was hurt.
I mean, Conjuring 4.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay. Conjuring. I just wrote Conjuring in my notes. Yeah. Hellraiser Bloodline. The dog turns into a Cenobite. So it kind of dies, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. Salem's
Lot had a dead dog.
Yeah, sure did.
Night of the Reaper had many dead dogs. Many. Let's see. Caveat had a dog that was in trouble, but he ended up being okay. Boys in the Trees implied that there was a dead dog, but you didn't see anything.
The dog was already dead at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. Halloween 4 and 5. Yeah, dead dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Weird. It's just interesting to see kind of what we notice.
I did not like this year's theme.
No, this year's theme was rough.
That was a really bad theme.
Yeah.
Last year's theme was rough too, but I did not like this theme. So.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other similarities between these, but I don't think they're kind of all over the place. So, yeah.
That was the only theme that we found.
Noticed.
Yep.
But
yeah, we had a couple cult things, a couple zombie things, werewolf. We try to hit each of the
we hit different areas
things, but yeah.
I don't know. Did you enjoy doing it this year? I think you watched more movies with me this past month than in the previous 31 Nights of Horrors that we've done.
Yeah, I actually look forward to it. I like talking about what we're going to watch and picking out the movies every day. I usually like when you give me like 3 options based upon what you think I'll like. I know it's a lot of work for you and I appreciate it, but it's
fun for me to think about it too.
Yeah, it was fun. I think I had more of a input on what we watched too, and more of a idea of what I wanted to watch. And yeah, I liked it. And there's still stuff, like I said, that I want to continue to watch even after the 31 nights. So I'm looking forward to planning next year's as well.
Yeah.
We figured out a way to still do this, even though
with a child.
we have a different set of circumstances. She's old enough that she goes to bed at a regular time now, so we have like good 2 or 3 hours sometimes to watch a film, so it's great.
Yeah, we never really needed to like limit the length of the movie. I mean, a couple times, but most of the time it's just whatever. Like we didn't really have to worry about that.
Yeah,
which was surprising.
I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think we were looking back at older years of us doing this, and there was definitely more movies that I liked overall. I think I was just kind of mid about a lot of these movies. They weren't my favorite. Only a couple ones really stood out, or ones that I would think about watching again. So overall, it was good. I liked other years' picks better, but I'm happy with the ones that we got through. Yeah,
me too. I really had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we should keep doing this every year. This was a lot. We haven't really talked about this, but
how come I'm on board and you're off board now?
It's tough with a child. Like I trust me, I love watching horror movies with you, and that's not what the issue is. The issue is watching it every single night for an entire month.
It's not easy. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon, yeah. And it was more enjoyable when we had more free time than the only free time we had was we have to watch a horror movie.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely most times I did not want to watch it, but I was glad at the end of it when we did. But it was more like hyping ourselves up to do it.
I think you took breaks, and I think that's maybe why you're like, oh yeah, it was great. For me, I think it was too much this time.
Wow, that's interesting.
I think I need breaks, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do next year. If I like do double features or something to still maybe do 31 movies or count the movies like Music Box of Horrors. But I think I need breaks. Like we were just talking about, like we put Nora down and then we finally get some time to be ourselves again, or to an extent, like get some time back to do what we want to do for a little bit. And yeah, dedicating that entire time every night to something, even though it's something that I choose to do regularly on my own anyway.
Yeah, but there's other things that you could be doing as well.
I need to take time for myself, not watching TV.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other options other than sitting in front of the TV all night.
Maybe healthier options. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens next year. I'm not totally counting it out, but I'm just noticing that now, and I'm documenting it for future kind of listen to and to remember how things went. So
that's really interesting. That you feel that way.
Yeah, I think it's difficult, and it pains me to say that. So, having that said, I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed watching all these movies with you, Meg. So
I enjoyed you too.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you all for listening and joining us on this recap of our past month. I'm not sure what's happening next week, so tune in for that. But oh no, they're here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's the Overtalking Overlords. They've got a bunch of Blu-rays in their hands, and they're asking me to watch more horror movies. No, I can't. They're here to remind me to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and rate and review where applicable. Reviews are what help people find this podcast. Also, we spend no money in advertising. So if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. You can call or text us at USACat1591. Email us at overtalkingpod@gmail.com. Those are the big things. CJ says something else too, but that's all of it. But yeah, CJ is going to be out for even a bit longer. He is taking a trip, so I'm going to be on my own for a couple episodes coming up. So tune in to see how that goes. CJ, help me out. No, enjoy your trip. But yeah, Meg, can we get some credits, please?
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was edited and produced by Ken. This week's special guest was me, Meg. Music by Justin Peters. Check out us on Spotify or iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please give us all those stars, likes, and subscribes. Thanks.
Thank you.